Alright guys, so I've got a little time today after work and I feel like I need a push to get these door panels started. So I'm going to start with the passenger side obviously, because that just makes sense. I'm going to miss having that nice surround wood there, but it is what it is. So I'm going to shift the car over and then I'm going to pull, because you have that whole upper section and then you have the lower section of the panel. Yeah, I'm going to yank the speakers, everything's coming out, and then I'll just find a way to temporarily mount the handle and the window controls and all that stuff back to the bare door shell and kind of get a feel for how I'll be able to strip that door out in the future. Because once this car gets caged, obviously I want to gut that door to make it a lot lighter. These are really heavy. So we'll see how those look. Yeah, we're going to get started, see what it takes to yank that door panel. And then once I'm comfortable with that, I'll yank my driver's side as well. This is my first time pulling one of these panels apart, so I'm just kind of taking an unbolt as I go approach. You can see this top portion is held in by a bunch of little clips. And this might explain why this window has issues sometimes. Some of the screws and bolts that hold this, this upper window seal here are actually loose, so I'll snug those back down once it's out. But that's loose. There's a little clip you can remove here. You can see there's a couple screws here. Those were actually covered by these little plastic caps. There's a little guy that fits in there. And then along the bottom, you can see there are I think three or four screws on the bottom of the panel. So I'm gonna take those out and see what else I find. But I can tell there's something holding the middle. So if you look up under the armrest, you can see there are two more screws. If I can, there we go. So those are coming out now. And you pop this whole panel out and there is another screw behind the door handle. Right, door panel is off. So it's pretty simple. It's those three screws on the bottom, two under the handle, two on the side, and the one with the door pull, and it comes out. You can see this actually pops out. You unplug it, and then that's this guy here. These two plugs, and then this guy is actually just held on by four 8mm nuts. So I just unbolt it from the door panel and threw the nuts back in to keep this trim piece, because that holds the whole trim piece and everything onto this panel. And a lot of these parts are getting donated to someone else's potential interior swap, so saving everything I can for them. So now that we're at this point, you can see there is 3, 4, 5 screws additionally that hold the bottom of this panel on. So we're going to pull that off. And then this giant speaker pod is also going to go away. This entire thing is just for that little 4-inch speaker, which is very blown. So that's coming out. You can see how much weight you could save if you're able to gut this door when I don't need it, you know, for crash safety in the future. And there's the finished product, as finished as it's gonna get today. Kind of zipped these wires in place. This guy's zipped on for now. And this has a bolt in the factory location. I might try to find a way to add another bolt or clip or something to hold that more securely. It's decent, but there's some flex in it. So the goal, the next step will be to make the ABS plastic door panels. You can see it's fairly flat the whole way around. I'm gonna have to probably remove the covers from these wires just to make that smaller. I'll have to cut out and probably clip the panel into here. And then I'm gonna have to find a way to clip this. It might have to go in a funky spot to make it work. but I'll figure a way to mount that in the ABS panel. And then my speaker should actually go right there just fine. That's where the stock speaker housing was. And I'm just gonna bolt the speaker to the ABS. And my plan is just drill holes all the way around and then use those little Christmas tree push clips and just pop the whole thing in, heat where needed and kind of mold it. And I think that'll work pretty well. So that's the plan. That's that for now, but it's wild. Here, I'll get in and show you. So try to give you a feel for how wide the old panel was. Here's the edge of the trim and the door's all the way over here. So, you know, that's a good, what, 4 inches from my fingertip over. That's how wide that panel was. And as a result, because your leg used to pretty much touch the door, like the armrest, and now there's all this room. So it's kind of crazy how much room there is in here now. The whole panel kind of bows out here. So I think it'll be fairly easy to create. Well, that's the first time I've actually set off the security system in this car. Anyway, so I still got to do that to the driver's side. I might try to do that tomorrow or next week. But I'm going to get them both stripped down like this and prepped. And then I will start creating the ABS plastic. And I just can't. It's so hard to capture on camera. But the stance of this thing now, I just love it. It looks so much more beefy. But anyway, that's all for today. We'll continue another day and do some more interior removal. I'm also probably going to pull out the cruise control soon because I'm never going to use that in this car. And keep making mods to it. Tomorrow I'm actually planning, we're going to make a little track with 1-bys down the ceiling, and I've got these LED light fixtures I bought a while back, and I'm going to run 4 of them down here because I'm going to be doing the timing belt and everything on this car soon, and it'd be really nice to have a little light up here. So gonna do that tomorrow. My brother's gonna help me throw those up, so I'll have a lot of light in here. I kind of organized all the stock tires are down here. Those chrome Mustang wheels are up here. And I've got all the extra wheels, or tires rather, stacked up over here. So for now, that's organized since I don't have much room. My plan is to actually work with my brother. We're probably gonna make one of those racks along this wall that you just roll the tires into. That way, hopefully I can organize all my spare wheels and tires between there and the door and just have them up all out of the way and open all that room back up. But that'll be a future project. You'll see it if I do it. Well guys, as promised, my mom and brother were here over the weekend, had lunch, and I would say they helped me, but they did 98% of this. So now I've got 4 very bright LED lights mounted right above the car. And yeah, it makes a huge difference in here at night or even in the evening right now. Sun's going down, it's getting dark. So anyway, I'm out here. It's already like 7:30 at night after work, but I just ripped off the driver interior door panel. Just like the passenger side, prepped it the same way, kind of zipped everything up temporary for now. But what I also got are, so it's made by this guy called Milden Auto Design. But I found these very nice door pull straps that are shocking purple. So what I'm trying to do is find a really good spot. Basically, the plan is to bolt them to the door panel, and then, and this is what I want to use, but it's really tight back here. So I'm going to try to bolt it up right here. And then when I do my door panels, I'll just cut a slot out that this can go through, and you'll just see the strap hanging out of the door panel. and I'll have one of these on each door panel. So, working on that. I'm going to see if I can get them bolted in. If I succeed, we will see you now. And we have success. It's a little bit of a fight with a magnet and cranking on it, but got it in there, and got my passenger side one on to match. So obviously the doors aren't pretty yet. We got a lot of work to do, but now we have legit purple pull straps, and I love it. So those are on. And they actually match my seats pretty well. They're not a perfect match, but they're a surprisingly good match considering these companies have less than nothing to do with each other. Their purples are pretty similar, so it's gonna look great once we get the seats in here. So you'll see those soon. I'm actually trying to get set up with a local fabricator to help me get some seat bracket bases. Because I have the seats, I have the sliders, but I didn't buy brackets because they're really expensive. Well, I have my buddy Corey has the legit Sparco bracket for his seat in his Mustang. So what he's going to do is we're going to take that bracket over to a local fab guy, Hefty Fab. They make a lot of off-road bumpers, sliders, and that kind of stuff. One of my other friends runs their parts on his Nissan, and they're really good. But he can CNC out parts. So the idea is to trace out the Sparco one, obviously without the logo, and have him cut me 2 of those. It'll still be cheaper than ordering cheap bases online, like no name brand. It's cheaper than that. And then all we'll have to do is weld the little feet on, and we'll be golden. So trying to get that done this week. We'll see if it happens or not. Trying to get schedules to mesh, but if it happens, I'll be super thrilled. But regardless, it will happen soon. But that's one more little step. Now this car is devoid of door panels, but has pull straps. So that's one more step in the right direction for the little SC400. Anyway, we'll call it that. See you guys when I decide to work again after work. Peace.